All right, guys, so we are back. So as I was saying, we can illustrate how to add integers on a number line. In this case where we're adding a positive 6 with a positive 3, what we can do is to illustrate by way of choosing a position of either the 3 or the 6 on the number line. So if we choose the position of 6, that means we're starting off from 6. Let me change the color here. So if we start off from 6, that means if we start with the number 6 and we're adding 3, and this positive here tells you that now from 6 you have to move 3 places to the right. So you will have a movement 1, 2, 3. Now, if you add 3 to the 6, you will end up at 9. And so that gives you the answer of adding positive 6 plus positive 3. It seemed like most persons fell off. So let me try to give a little time for them to come back. Just give them a little time, guys. I know that some areas might have interruption in their service. So let us give others a little time to get in. Are you still there with us, Ms. Waysam? Ms. Green, are you there? Are you hearing me?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Waysam, are you hearing me? All right. Not sure what is happening. Could be a network problem. All right, so the most that I will do, I will continue and then I'll try to make the video available for those who did not get a chance to come back. All right, so as I was saying, Ms. Green, you seem to be the only one with me now. Let me see, I'm not hearing from Ms. Wilson, so based on the number line.
I'm back, sir.
Okay. All right, Ms. Wilson, it seems like everybody's, apart from you two, the internet seems to have gone down for others and persons are not yet back. So I'm just going to continue and probably try to get the recording posted for the next class. All right, so as I was saying, if you have a positive 6 plus a positive 3, we see we're on the number line, we could actually start from a position. And if we choose to start from 6, we could move 3 places to the right because we're adding 3 to the 6. So we position ourselves at 6 and move 3 places to the right by adding 3. And we see that 6 plus 3 will give you 9 because on the number line, that's where it falls. And because it is on the positive side, then it's going to be a positive 9. Is that clear to everyone? All right.
Yeah.
Is that clear to you, Ms. Green? Now, in the same light, we could, instead of starting with 6, we could start at 3. So we could position ourselves at 3, but now if we start off with 3, it means that we are going to now add 6. So we start at 3 and add 6, because 6 is positive, we have to move 6 places to the right in the positive direction. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Still gets us to the same position of the 9. So clearly, whichever way we add them, we are going to end up with positive 9. All right, is that clear? So that's an illustration of how the numbers are being added on the number line. So let us clear this. All right, now, so to find the value of positive 6 plus 3, we move 6 units to the right of 0, then move 3 units to the right of 6. And so we get positive 9. Now, in a similar fashion, if we are to illustrate adding 2 negatives on the number line, we would have to move 5 units to the left of 0 and then 4 units to the right, to the left of 5. So on the number line, now we are going to make our 0 more to the right of the number line since we are dealing with negative numbers. So we have 1, 2, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 6, 7, 8. And these are all negative numbers. So I'm going to attach the sign to them. Let us stop there. So this is negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6. Oops, sorry about that. Negative 7, negative 8, negative 9, negative 11. Now we are adding 2 negatives. We are adding negative 5 and we are adding negative 4. So what we really want to do is to choose one of these numbers on the number line. Look at where they are positioned. So if you start off with 5, negative 5, you would start from this position here. But now what we're doing, we're adding negative 4. And so on the number line, 4 is going to the left of the number line. So from 5, we would move 4 places to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is where we end up. We would end up where? At -9. And so clearly then, if we add -5 plus -4, we get -9. All right. Now, with these two examples, what we realize is that if we're adding two positives, we get back a positive value. And if we're adding two negatives, we get back a negative value. So because of that, this now becomes a rule when we're adding negatives. So if we're adding negative number that the signs are the same, we add them and keep the sign. What about now if we're adding a positive and a negative number? All right, so let me clear this. So -4 plus -9, -5 plus -4 give you a -9. Now look at this one. Now we're adding -4 plus 11. So we choose 4 on the number line. So we choose 4, we can choose -4, then we add 11. Let us illustrate what will happen if we do that. So let's say we start off with our number line here. We are going to label this. All right, so I'm going to put 0 somewhere here in the middle. Well, not quite in the middle, but put 0 here. Now I'm moving on to the right. I'm going to create enough space. We can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. One more. So we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now to the left now, we are counting -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. All right, so now if we're adding -4 with +11, then what we want to do is just choose one of them to begin with. So let's say we choose -4. So on the number line, we would position ourselves at -4. But at -4, now we want to add 11, but 11 is a positive number. So which direction are we supposed to move in? To the left or to the right?
To the right, sir.
To the right. So it means that from -4, we're going to move 11 places to the right. So we go 1, 2, 3, oops, not moving out too fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And we end up at what? +7. Now, if we had chosen 11 first, we could have started with 11. So if we started off with 11 right here, let me use a brighter color. So we start with 11 right there. Then we're now going to, if we start with 11, then we have to now go to the left 4 places because now we are taking away 4. So 11, and so you subtract 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's still going to get you to the place where you have positive 7. So either way, you would get that. Now, if we are to, let me just, I don't want to move the number line itself. All right, so let me clear that. All right, let me know. So we clearly can see that the answer will be positive 7 once we add negative 4 plus negative 11. Now, before I actually conclude what the rules are for this one, let us look at another one similar. So now, instead of adding negative 4 plus 11, now we're adding negative 15 plus 8. Now it's kind of a little difficult on this line to go down to 15. All right, so I'm going to move some of these. So let me take away these here down here. And see if I can reposition my 0. Now, we're going all the way up to positive 8. Let me put on another 2 there. All right, so if we start at 0 here, and we count negative 1, 2, sorry. So that's negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, negative 7, negative 8, negative 9, negative 10, sorry, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All right, so here we would have 15 guys. All right, trying to cut down on the amount of writing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so here now we're adding positive 8 with negative 15. So we could start at negative 15, but if we start at negative 15, what would we have to do? If we start at 15 and we're adding 8, If we have a negative 15 and we have a positive 8 and we choose to start at negative 15, it means that we have to go in the positive direction 8 units to the right. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we'd end up here at negative 7. Now, if we had done it the other way, if we had started at 8, now we would have to subtract 15 units to the left, or in other words, we have to go 15 places to the left. So in this case, using a different color, so we'd have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We're still going to end up at negative 7. Now, so what we can conclude from this is that if you look at the question that we had before, let me just erase this. Now, bear in mind, this question here has what? Positive 8 and negative 15. The question before has what? Negative 4 and positive 11. Now, when we add negative 4 and positive 11, our answer was what? Our answer was positive 7. Now, if you look at what happened here, you add a positive and a negative. If you take away 4 from 11, what you get? 7. Now, notice with the other one, if you take away in the other question, you have now positive 8 and negative 15. If I take away 8 from 15, I get negative 7. So what I want you to realize here is that you find the difference. So take away the smaller number from the larger number. And the larger number, the answer must take the same sign as the larger number. So this is a positive, so it means that the 7 will also be positive. So a larger number, which is 11, is positive, so your answer is going to be positive. Now, the same rule applies when you're working with 2 different signs. So here we have 2 different signs again. So we take away the smaller one from the larger one and we get what? On the body, what we get?
7, sir.
We get 7, but now we notice that the larger number is what? 15. In this case, the answer have to take the same sign as the larger number. So it is what? Negative. All right, now all of this is just to illustrate some of the rules of adding numbers on the number line. So if you're adding 2 signs that are the same, if you're adding a positive and a positive, you will get back what? What sign?
Positive, sir.
Positive. And if you're adding a negative with another negative, what sign you get back?
Positive.
Negative, sir.
Ms. Green, yeah, you were saying something?
No, sir.
Okay. So if you're adding 2 negative, you'll get back negative. But if you're adding a positive and a negative, what do you get?
So you'll get the sign of the larger number.
Right, so what you do, you generally find the difference, take away the smaller one from the larger one, and what you get as a difference, you keep the sign of the larger number in front of the answer. All right, so that's a general rule. Now we are going to be going into some of this some more when we meet again next class. So I'm going to be stopping here for tonight. and then we will continue on the same topic next class. In short order, if you look, we have some worksheets for the various topics that we are doing. You can just go on the website, view the worksheets, and try the questions. All right, so you can get some practice. Now, I'm not just going to leave it up to you to just do these questions by yourself. I will somewhat try to address them in the class time so that you guys are able to see what is happening. All right, so I'm going to stop here now until we meet next class.